Welcome to Practice with Kris. I'm Kris. Today we're going to use a blanket or towel roll to support the shoulders and open the chest. So go ahead and grab your blanket or towel and roll it up and place it at the top edge of your mat. You might have that second blanket near you in case you need it. Once you have your blanket or towel rolled, go ahead and sit in front of that blanket and lie down so that the tops of your shoulders are on that blanket. With the knees bent, press into your feet, and you might even grab the corners or the edge of your yoga mat for even more support. And you're going to roll away from your feet so that the blanket roll starts to draw the inner shoulder blades down. And you're going to keep rolling until you get to the bottom of your shoulder blades. And you'll kind of know you're there because your armpits will be above the blanket. So you're welcome to take the arms out to the side if that feels comfortable. And you're also welcome to bend the elbows into kind of goalpost or cactus arms if that feels comfortable. From here, if you didn't have the blanket under your head, you may experiment and realize that you don't really need one depending on how big that roll is and how tight the neck and shoulders are. But if your neck feels strained at all, right, then you want to make sure that you're supporting the head enough so that the back of the neck muscles can relax. Right? So we're really taking the time to find that Goldilocks place where it just feels just right. Okay. So do a little experimenting here if you need to come out of it, and if you're feeling like this is too much of a stretch, then you might want to unroll your blanket once or twice, and if you're not feeling like this is enough of a stretch, you might want to get a thicker blanket or towel. Okay. So once you have settled into the position, you have the choice to keep your knees bent. This might be feel a little bit better for the low back. And then if you're going to do that, you might want to bring your feet further apart and drop the knees in towards one another so they can rest gently. Okay. You're also welcome to explore straightening your legs. This will produce a little bit different of a sensation, not only in the chest, but you might start to feel a stretch in the abdomen and even all the way to the tops of the hips and thighs. Okay. Now, if you're feeling like the low back is feeling compressed or it doesn't feel so great here, you can either bend the knees again, or you can try lifting your hips, lengthening the top of your buttocks towards the bottom buttocks so that the low back gets nice and long. Okay. From here, you might notice that my ribs are kind of poking forward. This is just one of my natural tendencies. So if it does feel like the middle of your back is really far from the floor, the aim is to open up the upper back. So we actually want to soften the front of the ribs into the back body, and that's going to actually move the stretch or the openness into the back body a little, the upper back rather, a little more. Okay. So at this point, hopefully you have found a place that is sustainable and feels comfortable and relaxed. If not, just pause and experiment a little bit with getting that place. But once you have found your sort of money spot, it should feel pretty good. Okay. And then you can choose to keep the eyes open or close them down. Wherever you are, just lower the gaze away from the brain. Noticing what you can soften and relax, especially in the face. If it feels like you are holding on to a lot of tension here, it might also be helpful to breathe a little more deeply for a few rounds of breath. Inhaling through the nose, maybe even exhaling out of the mouth as you relax the body. Letting the back body get heavy letting the body start to take the shape of the roll and the support. One last final cleansing breath here. Exhaling, allowing the tops of the shoulders to relax, and eventually releasing the control of the breath as it returns to its natural rhythm. If you'd like, begin to follow that breath inside. Simply noticing where it's easiest to feel the breath in the body. Anytime you notice that the mind starts to get wrapped up in the thoughts, just see if you can gently guide your attention back to feeling whatever sensations are present for you. Perhaps a release in the neck and the shoulders. Maybe the sensation of stretch in the upper chest. Maybe the micro movement of the breath moving in the body. Notice if the abdomen is hard. Using the next cycles of breath to relax the abdominals. And continuing to breathe in whatever way is comfortable for you. Maintaining full awareness on whatever is present for you. At any point, if it feels like it's time to come out, right? If it becomes too much of a stretch or you're no longer relaxed or comfortable, and you're always welcome to, not only welcomed, but encouraged to listen to that inner teacher, coming out when it feels like you need to. If this is still feeling comfortable for you, then you're welcome to stay, continuing to meditate on the breath. Letting each exhalation be that gentle reminder. What can you release? What can you let go of that you don't need to carry? Perhaps noticing the thoughts as they rise and doing your best to let them go with as much ease as you let the breath out of the body. Maybe beginning to feel a little bit lighter in the neck and the shoulders. Maybe even in the heart and in the mind. On your next inhalation, gently begin to deepen your breath. Maybe inhaling into the space behind the heart where the blanket roll is. And maybe exhaling softening and relaxing the belly down towards the spine. A couple more rounds of these deeper conscious breaths. As you feel ready at your own pace, if the legs are straight, gently bend the knees one at a time. If the knees are together, gently separate them, walking the feet about hip distance apart. Taking one more full breath here, noticing what you can relax. As you're ready, bend the right elbow, gently rolling off to the right side. Let the right arm become a pillow for the head. And gently bring the knees a little closer in towards the chest to gently stretch the lower back. Take your time, moving slowly, maintaining that awareness on the body and the breath. Eventually turning the chest towards the floor, pressing into the palms to help lift you up, letting the head roll up last. You might keep the eyes closed down if that feels comfortable as you come into any comfortable seated posture. Taking a moment to lengthen up through your spine as you relax the inner shoulder blades down. Perhaps remembering the feeling of the roll in the shoulders. Seeing if you can gently press the tips of the shoulder blades forward towards the heart to lift and open the chest. Notice if the head is balanced over the spine. And just take these last couple moments here to notice how it feels to be in your body. Perhaps noticing any shifts or changes to the tightness in the neck and shoulders. But remembering to be patient with yourself, that this is called a practice for a reason. So if you're not feeling immediate relief, the invitation is to maybe spend a few minutes every day for the next week in this passive chest opener. When you're ready, if the eyes are closed down, take your time to slowly and gently open the eyes. All right, my friends, thanks so much for taking 10 minutes out of your day to join me in taking responsibility for your health and well-being, right? This passive chest opener, think of it as your apple a day. If you could use even more instruction and inspiration to bring yoga, meditation, and relaxation into your daily life, then head over to practicewithkris.com and join our weekly practice community. Until next time, namaste.